Hey everyone. This is gonna be the most imperfect video, but please bear with me. So my name is Basatana Huaring, and I'm a South African girl, born and raised. I lived in South Africa my whole life until I moved to Croatia, which this video is what this is going to be all about. I want to share the story of my life in Croatia and how I went there, what happened, and how I ended up coming back home to South Africa. So when I went in 2017, late 2017, I was working in this nightclub. Uh, I was still training when I met this gentleman, and at first I wasn't really into him, to be honest with you. But a friend convinced me, and she was like, you know what, this guy, he's really, really into you. And I gave him a chance. I gave him a chance. We talked and we started going out, and one thing led to another. 9 months later, boom, my son was born. Actually, I got pregnant, I think 6 months after we met. And then at that time when I found out I was pregnant, he paid for lobola, and then preparations to go abroad, to go to Croatia began. And then that's when I went to Croatia. Things were not very perfect even when we were here at home. I could see the red flags. Red flags, but he had already paid for, the dowry, bride price, lobola, mahadi ka Setswana. And so I was just afraid of if I just entertain these red flags, people are gonna be laughing at me. I was just in that brain, that thought, people are going to just laugh at me. So because of that, I just ended up leaving anyway, even with the red flags lingering around. So I went to Croatia, and when I got there, at first the family was, especially the sisters, they were welcoming. Brother, not so much. I could tell that he had a problem, but I don't know what it was. The mother as well, she wasn't as receptive as the sisters. But yeah, I stayed with them. I stayed with him, my husband, and we got married on the 7th of September in 2018, the same year I came. So after that, a month later, I found out that I was pregnant. Yes, a month later, I found out that I was pregnant, and that's where again things got worse. Remember, I told you that there was the red flags were there when I was in South Africa. The red flags were there, but I ignored them because I gave you already the reasons. The abantu bazotini syndrome. So yeah, the pregnancy was a nightmare. I faced a lot of physical, emotional, and financial abuse, to a point where my husband got arrested for hitting me with his sister and his brother-in-law, the sister's husband. So that time when he was arrested, I had to go to a women's shelter, and then I stayed there for like a few days. And because I was so emotional, so pregnant, so I just decided to drop the case against him, thinking that he was going to come back to live with me. He did not. Instead, he went to live with his mom. I lived alone for a period of time in our apartment. I lived there alone. There was a time where I had to go to a hospital because I tripped, and then I just had a breakdown. So I went to the hospital. When I was in the hospital, he came. He took his clothes. He packed everything that belonged to him, and he went back to his mom. That time I was around 7 months pregnant with my son, Christian. So he left and eventually came back. I don't know how he came back. I don't remember much. Afterwards, when I was actually literally when I guess I'm so sorry that guys, this stuff that happened 5 years ago. So I have to try to put everything as it happened, like, you know, into perspective, and it's a little hard because a lot of things happened. So I'm just trying to just put it, you know, in brief. So that's what I when I gave birth to my son, Mugai was not there. When I gave birth to my son, he was in casino. One thing that I also forgot to mention is that he is a huge, massive gambling addict. So, okay, I think I'm back. Christian was wanting my attention, guys. I'm sorry for leaving like that. But I'm back, and where were we? I was talking about when Christian was taken. So I got Christian back after 9 months. They took him for 9 months. And in that 9 months, I was visiting Christian for 1 hour, 30 minutes, every single day. Even during that time, they sent a lady. I remember during that time, that 9 months of them sending a lady to come and monitor us. She was apparently a psychotherapist. That woman almost drove me to the edge. Her name was Lavinia. This woman, I would find them together, her and Christian's dad, in the bedroom. They were having, and I would ask them what's going on, and they would be telling me that now we are having meetings about plans to get Christian back and to make sure that you guys get Christian back in time. Okay. That time I was already checked out of the marriage anyway. So at that time, my plan was just all I was thinking about was getting my son back. I knew that was weird, but I let go because I just wanted my son back. And I knew if I started a fight with her, I wasn't gonna get Christian back. So I just let it slide. There were times when he would hate me, Christian's father, when he would you know, do away, you know, do the things to me. And every time I would want to call the police, she would be saying that, Chrissy, lower the volume, please, I'm begging you. She would be saying that if you do this, the police, Christian will be taken forever. He won't come. Chrissy, lower the volume, please.
No. No, Mama.
There would be times where I remember where Christian went to, there was time when Christian was going to physiotherapy while he was still in that children's home. And I would obviously make sure to go every day there. And at some point, we had no money for transport for bus. And she came, I don't know, she came out of the blue at the hospital, and they sat together in a car for like about a good 40 minutes while I was standing outside. And after that, he came out with some money, 20 kuna. I think it was 20 kuna or 40 kuna there. I don't know. I don't really remember, but I think it was that. So that, you know, it was now more than that. Like, I wasn't feeling like, what is this woman doing with my husband? It was just the thought of these people. Something is going on and they're ganging up on me. He's abusing me. She's taking his side, and she's threatening that if I do something, if I do this, my son won't come back. If I do this, my son won't come back. So it was too much. I nearly went nuts during that period. And Lavinia, who was sent, I don't know if she was sent to help or they knew what they were doing, because they knew that my husband was a gambling addict, and if they just kept pumping him and making him believe what he was doing to me was right, it would drive me over the edge and I wouldn't be able to get my son back. But it never stopped me for fighting for my kid. It never stopped me. Yes, it was very, very painful. It was right. I came back home and I tried to do my son's papers. His father was required to sign those papers and he refused, and as a result Christian ended up overstaying his visa because I didn't want to go back to Croatia. I did not want to go back to that toxic, very toxic and abusive. Sorry, it cut me off again. So I was talking about I didn't want to go back to Croatia because I mean I was scared. I was scared of going back to the same kind of dangerous and unsafe position and environment that we were in, that I found myself and my son in. So Christian was banned, and because of that we had to go back because his father told me that kept threatening me that if I didn't return him, if we didn't go back, then he would involve the Interpol and everybody, the right authorities, and I would lose my kid again. So I ended up having to go back. The abuse just continued and continued and continued. It got worse. It got worse, and I still fought and fought to be a mom, to be able to raise my child in the world that was so strange to me, and to be honest with you, so extremely cruel. That's a story for another video. I've shared this part of my story about like how I went to Croatia and March. I thought that was going to be the beginning, the new beginning, new chapter for me and my kid, but it didn't. It actually went from worse to worst. What I've experienced in Croatia was horrific. It was beyond inhumane. It was, both from my marriage and in general, it was extremely horrific. I don't wish that on anyone. I don't wish that on my worst enemy. It's something that no one should go through, especially with a child. But that's what me and my kid went through. We are back home. I wouldn't say that I'm completely happy, but I'm definitely relieved that Christian is safe and I'm safe. And I feel like that's what's very important. That's the most important thing, our safety, and my son is happy. So that's what's very important to me. I will be doing another video shortly of what happened after filing for divorce from my husband and moving from the house he was helping me pay. So please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like the video, and share. This is one first of many. I promise to be more active on YouTube now and continue to share our stories, and I also show you how beautiful South Africa is, and how we're going to be now living, or how our lives will be now that we're back home, now that we're safe, now that we are finally free, okay? So please don't forget to like this video, share it, and of course you have to subscribe. Please help me grow this channel. It's going to be very, very helpful. I would really appreciate if you do, and I hope you really enjoyed my little vent. I promise you, not all my videos will be like this. I will be doing more fun stuff in the near future. Thank you so much. Bye bye.